Hello and welcome. In today's video we are going over yet another great way to make a lot of credits in Gran Turismo 7. For this video we are going and looking at the VW Beetle Group 3 vehicle. So we are actually going to use this around Sardinia. Now the reason that we are using this car in particular is because of how much power it actually produces with a high RPM turbocharger. And because this week we are looking at budget-friendly methods to make a lot of credits in Gran Turismo 7. So if you don't want to miss out on any more of that content, hit that subscribe button. Now you don't even have to use the VW Beetle Group 3 vehicle. You can use whatever Group 3 vehicle you like, because that's how versatile these cars are. The only thing you really need to apply to make it an easy win for yourself is either a high RPM turbocharger or a high RPM supercharger. That is the only two things you need to add to make these vehicles actually unstoppable. Now the event that we are going to be using is the WTC 800 around Sardinia. Now the one thing that I love about this event is that there is no weather change. It is going to be sunny throughout the race. Now the race is 15 laps, which means you just need to set as fast as a lap time as possible. Now compared to Le Mans, where it is 30 minutes, you go as far as possible within that 30 minutes. The race is gonna end after the 15th lap. Now you only need racing hard tires. Throughout the race your goal is to spend as much time out on circuits and not going to the pits. So for that, racing hard tires is the best. For your suspension setup, body height adjustment is going to be 55 in the front, 60 in the rear. For both front and rear, for anti-roll bars is going to be 8. Dampening ratio compression is going to be 35. Dampening ratio expansion is going to be 45. For natural frequency in the front is going to be 4.70. And for the rear is going to be 4.60. If you take the car out on circuit and you don't like how it's feeling, you can come back in and change that 4.70 to 4.60. Then negative camber angle, both the front and rear, is going to be set to 3.5. Then toe angle is going to be 0.10 going outward in the front, and then 0.20 going inwards in the rear. When it comes to downforce, you're going to have it set at 440 in the front and 615 in the rear. And the last thing that you need to make sure you have is your high RPM turbocharger. It is going to be a 2-pit strategy. You are going to start off on fuel map 6 and you're going to go up until the end of lap 6. You're also going to change your tires. Since you're starting out on racing hards, you're going to switch it out for a fresh set. Then your second pit stop is going to be at the end of lap 12. You're going to do the same thing. Now when refueling at the end of lap 12, you are going to want to see the marker. You're going to fill up a little bit over the marker. It doesn't have to be precise, but you're going to fill it up. Then you're going to continue until the end of the race. If you have more than 20% of fuel left, you can turn your fuel map over to fuel map level 1 and you'll be able to set a blistering lap time to end off your race and collect your 725,000 credits. When you first get onto track, the first thing you need to do is set it to fuel map 6. You're gonna make it as lean as possible because we need this car to go as far as possible before we refuel. So fuel map 6, the high RPM turbocharger will give the car the power it needs to actually overtake the AI. Now I always recommend, if you are going to be money grinding, set it to the easiest difficulty. This way you don't have to stress too much of, am I going to be able to actually win this event? It's going to be a piece of cake and you're just going to have a fun time. Also something I recommend, but it's just personal preference, to turn traction control on. I feel like it helps save on tire wear, but if you feel like you can handle yourself, you don't have to turn it on. Now as you can see, even on the straightaways, the car is able to keep up with the AI with it being on fuel map 6. Now your goal is to just try and go as fast as possible every lap to get the event done as fast as possible. So we reached the end of lap 6 with being on fuel map 6 the entire race, and we see that we still have 11% of fuel left. So what we're gonna do is come into the pits and refuel. We're gonna fill it all the way up, and we are also gonna change our tires because we can see that they are almost at half life. Now we just do the same thing again. When we actually come out to the pit lane, we see that there's still a 39-second gap between us and second place. So after going out and doing the same thing as the first half, we are gonna come in now at the end of lap 12 to put on some racing hard tires and just refuel. Now when it comes to refueling, there's a marker that is shown to indicate where you need to fill up to complete the race on fuel map 6. So now we actually gonna fill a little bit above that, because for the last lap we are gonna go all out and set the fuel map to fuel map level 1 and see how fast we can actually go in the VW Beetle. I'm now gonna take you on the fastest lap of the event, which funny enough was the final lap. So as soon as we cross over the finish line, we're gonna switch it back over to fuel map 1. Now what we're gonna do, as soon as we pass the 100-meter mark, slam on the brakes. You can see I actually a little bit overshot it, and that actually did not make for the optimal line. You can see we have 20% of fuel left, so that should cover us for just this final lap. Now it's full speed ahead. Now with this corner, you gotta take it a bit wide so you can carry as much speed as possible to hit it around that apex. Don't worry, the track is wide enough and it is still a bit of curb for you to ride out onto. Now the only reason I wasn't close up to the wall onto the apex was because the Audi R8 was in my way. But as you can see now, with us going as fast as possible, we go flying past the Audi, and as we make it to the top of the hill, we see the fuel lights starts flashing and we slam brakes to go past the Nissan GTR. Now you see how tightly I took that corner. That was actually on purpose and not because the GTR was beside me. That is the optimal line in my opinion to make it around that turn. Now this is the trickiest part of the circuit. Now since it is a blind turn, you really just have to point the car in the direction of the circuit. Now you're gonna slam on the brakes as you get to a corner of that barrier, and you're gonna slowly, do not be on the throttle. You're just gonna let the car glide and let the motion take the vehicle. Now once you are almost exiting the corner, that is when you slam on the power and you will get going. That is how you need to handle that turn. Now for this last sharp turn, you just need to jam on your brakes between the 50 and 100-meter mark. As you can see, our fuel light has been flashing. We have 1%, make that 0% of fuel left, and we see that the car actually cuts out of fuel before we even reach the end of the race. But because we are carrying such a low motion, the car is able to get across the finish line and put us in first position. We finished this event in 26 minutes and 48 seconds. Now, this is not the fastest method to do this. However, it is the most affordable method to get it done. Now, I am working to see if we can get it done cheaper. However, I will post that if I do get it right. So, if you're looking for the fastest money method around the circuit, I will be posting that in the future. So if you don't want to miss out on that, hit that subscribe button. For some final reminders for this event, it is going to be a 2-pit strategy. You are going to start off on fuel map 6 and you're going to go up until the end of lap 6. You're also going to change your tires back to racing hards because they should be at half life. Then your second pit stop is going to be at the end of lap 12. You are going to do the same thing. Now when refueling at the end of lap 12, you are going to want to see the marker. You're going to fill up a little bit over the marker. It doesn't have to be precise, but you're going to fill it up. Then you're going to continue until the end of the race. If you have more than 20% of fuel left remaining, you can turn your fuel map over to fuel map level 1 and you'll be able to set a blistering lap time to end off your race and collect your 725,000 credits. So with all that's been said, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more Gran Turismo content.